Hi, I'm Sunny's Crochet and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be showing you guys exactly how I made this Hexy granny shirt. Hexy granny shirt. So for that shirt, I used the Peaches and Cream. I think it's called Meadow Lavender color. And it came out striping like that. For this one, it's going to be the same weight yarn, but I will be using the I Love This Cotton. You can buy this yarn over in Hobby Lobby if you have a Hobby Lobby nearby, if not online. But basically, you can use any type of 4-weight yarn for this shirt. I use that one. I'm going to make it in this one today. The colorway is Moonlight Forest, the 366, and I will be using my hook number 6mm. This is a Clover Moore hook. It's really good. It's not as bad for my joints. And the letter is J. You will obviously need some scissors. I used a tape measure to measure my shoulder length or width, my shoulder width, and I also used some stitch markers. And tapestry needle. We always need a tapestry needle. Okay, so that's basically everything you need. I used 10 of the small Peaches and Cream little skeins of yarn, which is like 2 ounces a piece. So this one has 3 ounces. So I'm assuming I only need like 4 or 5 of these to complete. And that is also with my size. I'm an extra large girly, so I'm a pretty big girl, and my shoulders are big. So I have enough of this yarn. I have 7 skeins of this, so this is going to be more than enough for my project. So go ahead, gather your materials together and meet me back. I will be putting my camera up here so you guys can see. All right, so first of all, we're gonna find our end of the yarn right here, and we are going to make a slip knot. And we're gonna go ahead and close that slip knot and grab our J hook. Gonna close up our loop right there. And we're gonna go ahead and chain 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, I made that relatively loose. And I'm gonna go in the back of my stitch, or we can do it up here on the other end of our stitch, on our first stitch that we made. I'm gonna go in the back, and we're gonna do a slip stitch closing that loop. So from this point, I'm gonna go ahead and work over my tail. I'm just gonna put it along this little ring I made, and I'm going to make a stack standing double crochet. I'm going to insert my hook into that loop, pull out a loop. I'm going to wrap my yarn again and pull through both loops, and we basically made a single crochet right there. We're going to go insert our hook into that little leg of the single crochet that we just made. Insert a hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and make another single crochet right there. And we're going to do that one more time. And we have our standing stacked double crochet. We're going to go ahead and do 2 more double crochets. This will count as your first double crochet. So now we're going to do 2 more double crochets into that same ring. Now that we have our first cluster, we're going to go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and work a second cluster into that same circle. Have 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet. That is our second cluster. We're going to chain 2 again, and we're going to repeat making clusters until we have 6 clusters. Now that we made it to the end, we're going to go ahead and chain 2 and slip stitch to that first double crochet that we made with the stack standing, and just slip stitch right there. So at this point we have 6 clusters into that same circle. Here's 1 cluster, and in between each cluster we have 2 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, our last cluster right there. That should be exactly what we have. So now, this is the way I do it. You can do it however you want. I slip stitch on top of these 2 stitches to get to my next cluster, or sorry, to get to my next space. So I'm going to slip stitch right there, 1, slip stitch in the next one on top of those loops, and in here I'm going to make 1 single crochet. In that leg I'm going to make another single crochet, and 1 more on this leg, making my stack standing double crochet. And in here I'm going to make a cluster, that is my first cluster. I'm going to chain 2 and make another cluster. So in between these rows, I'm not going to chain. I'm just gonna go ahead and work into my next chain 2 space right there, creating my first cluster, chaining 2 for the corner, and then double crocheting 3, double crocheting 3 to complete my corner cluster right there. We're gonna go ahead and repeat this until we get all the way back to the end. Remember, do not chain anything here, just double crochet into your next chain 2 space. Alright, so I am at the end of my row right here, and remember, we're not chaining or anything, so we're just gonna go up on this first double crochet, stack standing double crochet. We're just gonna slip stitch right there, and then slip stitch on over to our next chain 2 space in here, and again work that standing stacked double crochet. You can do a regular double crochet right here if you like. I prefer using this method. In my opinion, it looks better. And so for this next row, we're gonna repeat row 2 all the way up until we have reached the length or width of your shoulder or arm, the biggest piece of your arm, which should be the armpit area. We want this to cover that armpit area. So Let me finish this row right here and I'll show you how this is going to be folded so you guys can see how that is going to work up. Row 3 is going to be the same as row 2, just with one extra cluster, and right in between these two right there. There's no chain space right there. It's just working a cluster right in between that. You're going to keep on doing that throughout the rows. So I'm going to show you super quickly how this is going to be folded up. You're just going to connect these two right here, and it should look something like this. Okay, so this is the armpit area, and you're gonna keep on working rows and rows and rows until it reaches the length that you need to cover your armpit. I measured my arm area and I needed to be at least 19 inches wide around. So right now it's only 3 rows in, and it is 2 inches on each side, so that means it's only 4 inches. We need to keep on doing rows, building rows until it reaches 19 inches around minimum. Okay, so we needed to go 9.5 from here to the top, 9.5 inches. For me, as an XL size. For you, it's most likely going to be different depending on your weight and size. So if you have one of these, go ahead and measure your arm and do all the notes you need to do. If you don't have one of these, it's okay. While you keep on working your rounds, you can just hold it up and put your arm through and see where that how the fit is going depending on your arm. That's okay. Whenever I can't find mine, I do that. So but yeah, I'm gonna meet back up with you guys once I've completed all the rounds I have to do. For my last one that I did, I think I did around 15 rounds, maybe a little bit more, but we'll see how much I need to do for this type of yarn. So I'll meet you guys back up when I have more rows completed. Okay, so now that I've completed all of the rows that I needed to do, I figured that for the type of yarn that I'm using, which again it is I Love This Cotton, I needed to do 18 rows. So the way you count rows when you're doing a hexy is that you're going to start from the center. This is my center right here. Okay, and I'm going to start from that center going diagonally. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 right here. I had to do 18 rows for my tension with my specific yarn that I'm using. So now that I know that, I'm going to show you the width from one side to another. The one side to another is just going to be from one corner to the next, but you're not going to measure it from the top part. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and measure our piece from the center This is the center right here. We're gonna go from one edge to the next, and my piece is right in the 19-inch mark. So if you remember from earlier, that is exactly the amount I need to cover my arm length. And it should be looking like this. Okay, with 6 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 points. Okay, so now that we have this side complete, we're gonna go ahead and make another side exactly the same, with the same amount of rows that you need for your size. So for my size, like I said, I made 18 rows. Okay, so go ahead and make your next side, and I will teach you what to do next.